Aloha, everybody. Welcome to the Hawaiiverse podcast, a podcast that supports local by taking off our shirts, walking back and forth with our hands up and saying, "What, bro? Let's go!" 20 times before actually fighting. I'm your host, Kamaka Diaz, and Happy New Year, everybody. We had a little hiccup the other week with our posting schedule, but now we're back and ready to take this podcast to the next level. We got some great guests coming our way here on the Hawaiiverse podcast for 2022, so make sure you follow us, leave a review, and tune in every Thursday for a new episode. Speaking about great guests, we have one right in front of me right now. Our guest today is a fighter in more senses than one. He is a West Side boy from the island of Oʻahu with an incredible story and very humble beginnings. He's a Filipino-Puerto Rican former professional boxer turned coach, business owner, and former sparring partner to one of the greatest boxers of all time, Philippines' own Manny Pacquiao. His name is Carlos Nito Tangaro, but you can call him Nito. Aloha, Nito. Welcome to the podcast.
What's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Of course. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I'm stoked to have you today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I want to learn about your story, want to learn more about boxing, and just some life lessons you accumulated throughout your life journey, because you've been through a lot.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and I had to have you on because I've been seeing you everywhere, like people's stories. You've been training some local celebrities, surfers, right?
Yeah, I live a pretty good life.
Yeah, and it wasn't easy, so I'm sure we're gonna learn a lot today. So before we get started, I like to learn about my guests and their story, what made them who they are today. So the questions like, where are you from? Where did you grow up? Where you grad?
I'm from Waianae, born and raised Waianae. Went to Waianae High School. Didn't graduate, but had a rough upbringing and stuff like that. Boxed all my life, and just took something that I love and made it work.
Yeah. So how did you get into boxing?
I come from a fighting family, so my dad boxed, all my uncles. So like every guy in my family boxed. So kind of was born into it.
Yeah. So did you have no choice, or you actually liked it?
I had no choice.
Did you like it at first?
I didn't like it at first, and then I found out I couldn't live without it. Yeah. So you kind of grow into it, and it just becomes a part of you.
Yeah, and it's really your life. Like your life is boxing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what was it like growing up in Waianae and during your childhood?
Just it was pretty rough. Like my mom and dad they struggled with abuse, drug abuse and stuff like that. And I didn't have like the best childhood, but made the best out of it. Definitely seen a lot of things that I shouldn't have as a kid, but made me who I am today.
Yeah. So you don't regret anything?
Not at all.
Yeah.
I think you go through stuff, and that's what makes you like the person you are today.
Yeah, I always believe whether it's good or bad, all these experiences they make us who we are. They strengthen 100%. Us. Yeah. So yeah, they say pressure makes diamonds, right?
100%.
So yeah. You're looking like a diamond now with that gold chain. Turn to the camera, flex on them a little bit, yeah. And you have one that says Nito Boxing, right?
I do.
Which is your company. We'll talk about that later on.
All right.
Right on. So who did you look up to growing up? Or did you have, because you say you didn't really have many, I guess, good role models, but so who did you look up to?
Like my brother, my older brother, he's still to this day I look up to him. He's really a humble guy, family man. I always did look up to him, and I still look up to him to this day.
What about in boxing?
In boxing, you look the guys on TV, like the Floyd Mayweathers, the Manny Pacquiaos, all of them, and then you try to aspire to be them. But sometimes life take you a different route. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So
how did you end up going from that rough upbringing to Manny Pacquiao's sparring partner?
So I moved to back in the day before there was somebody like me. We had to move to the mainland to get exposure for fights and stuff like that. And I moved to Coachella, California.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I turned pro. That's where I turned pro. And with the connections out there, I end up trying out to be Manny's sparring partner and got the job. I was his main sparring partner. I think I was 19 years old.
Wow, at 19 years old. Yeah. So you were a professional boxer at what age?
19.
So as soon as this is your first time as a professional.
My first year as a professional, I became his.
And you just sparring with Pac-Man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's insane. Some people at 19-year-olds just trying to play the Pac-Man game in some arcades and can barely get through that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what was that like coming from Hawaii, Waianae, going to Coachella, California? It's totally different, right?
Totally different. I didn't have no family or anything with me out there, so definitely was homesick every day.
Yeah.
Every day. But yeah, I had to chase this dream, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I had to do whatever it took, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a very humble guy, and I feel like a lot of people like that went through some stuff, right? Because you can't get to that point without going through some stuff, learning a lot of things, and going through some hardships, because it really toughens you up. And do you think that made you a good boxer?
That definitely made me a good boxer, I think, but boxing made me carry myself a whole lot different, like in everyday life. So like, you got to be confident, you know, when you're fighting, when you're in that ring. So same way I carry myself in the ring, I carry myself out. You know, just always humble, but you know, stern and don't take no crap.
Yeah. I mean, because you don't want to be too humble. Like, oh no, yeah, you're really good. You could probably knock me out. you kind of want to assert your dominance, right?
You have to be humble, but sometimes humble kind of gets you walked over. You know, so you have to let them know they gotta respect you. Yes,
and there's like a fine balance between like Conor McGregor and somebody like, I don't know, maybe Dustin Poirier. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm using MMA references, and we're talking about boxing, but yeah, I follow MMA more, but I know I follow boxing enough to who the people are. Yeah, so why do you think there's not a lot of like really elite boxers out of Hawaii? And I know there are, but what I mean by that is like the Max Holloways, the BJ Penns, like at that level, you know, unlike Floyd Mayweather's level, Oscar De La Hoya.
I think you'll see them like my boys. We're starting to break the scene now. So give us a couple years, you'll be able to hear about it. But
shout them out.
Asa Stevens, Dallas Kaliopu, Noah Timoteo, KJ Waiʻanae.
You guys make sure to remember those names in the future. Two of them just signed with Golden Boy promotion, right? Yeah. And that's Oscar De La Hoya's promotion. Yeah. Huge.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you were living in California in Coachella Valley.
Yeah.
And you're sparring with one of the greatest boxers of all time. And then did you end up getting into other professional fights? Did you establish your career? What was your life like after that?
I was always like this troubled kid, you know, like I had a drug problem also. So like, but boxing kind of kept me, you know, from going over the edge. So like if I had a fight coming up, my mind wasn't in it because I used to like to party. And I was a young boy, but I always took partying over the top. But anyway, whenever I had a fight coming up, my mind was focused on the fight. But whenever I didn't have a fight coming up, I'd be like this crazy kid. But slowly but surely, drugs, alcohol, they take over. You know, they start to, be more important than your career and stuff like that. So I was around that time. That's where I was at. I was battling addiction and fighting at the same time. Slowly but surely, it took over.
Yeah, you're fighting two fights at once.
Yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah.
And then I guess one kind of knocked you out, huh?
Yeah, it did.
TKO.
It did. But like you said earlier, like, you go through stuff, and it puts you in a position where, like, God, He'll let you go through things, and if you can beat it, get through it, you'll be right where you need to be.
I believe that.
And that's where I'm at right now.
What was your professional record as a boxer?
I was 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah.
So at what age did you stop?
I'd say like 22.
22. So you have like 3 prime years, and then you just kind of fell off.
Yeah, I had trouble with management too, also. And just again battling addiction and stuff like that. Kind of, but I don't regret it.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of good fighters that come out of Waianae. Come out of the. Is it because of it's seen as this like rough neighborhood, and
it's exactly what it is.
Is that what it is? You kind of have to like look out for yourself, look out for others. Like, I'm sure. So when I mentioned like people taking off their shirts, walking back and forth, like, oh, let's go.
I thought you were talking about Waianae.
I was actually gonna say I feel like Waianae probably just gets right to the point, right? I feel like these town guys, maybe they're a little like, The worst guys is a guy that they take off their shirt, put it back on, take off their shirt, put it back on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen those guys before.
No, but why not? You kind of grow up knowing how to fight before you know how to do anything else. Just gotta protect yourself.
Yeah. Is that just because? So I feel like it's a small community though, right? Like
It is.
It's like everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
Then why do you think there's like this animosity? It's like everybody
I
steps on
think
each other's toes.
our tolerance for BS is real small.
Yeah,
Real
yeah.
short.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So you grew up with a chip on your shoulder always.
Exactly.
Like still to this day, I still got a chip on my shoulder, but I just learned how to control it and turn it on, turn it off.
Oh, that's good. You learned how to kind of
Gotta.
control that.
Especially in business, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're a business owner, so that's amazing. I love your story, and just to see how composed, how you're able to be vulnerable and tell this story so openly. I think that's amazing.
I think there's a lot of guys that I'm not the only one that they go through the same the things that I went through. I think there's a lot of us in Waianae and just in the island in general, about the party life and learning how to balance two, or learning your priorities and stuff like that. I think we all go through that as men, here in Hawaii.
Definitely, especially with drinking, getting into drugs, trying to look a certain way, trying to be tough as men. That's kind of something that we're taught, right? Or not even taught. That's just something that we've seen growing up in this society, right? Yeah. We gotta have our lifted Yodas, right? You said why you got your drop down.
I got a drop Chevy.
Right?
I got a drop Chevy.
Yeah, so you're going against the grain.
It's a Waianae thing.
Yeah, it's a Waianae thing. But yeah, it's just funny growing up. We think we have to be a certain way, right? And then you get older and you're like, wow, nobody really cares, right?
Yeah, nah. Nobody really cares at all.
Yeah.
What you tend to realize when you get older is like what your family thinks.
And that's the most
And
important thing.
that's the most important thing. I live through my family's eyes.
Awesome.
I don't live through, the society. As long as my family, my mom, them, what they think of me, that's what I care about.
Awesome. When you're going through this drug problem and you're fighting abuse, what was the thing that got you out of it? Like, how did you get out of that pattern, that hard time?
I just knew I didn't want to die and leave nothing behind, and something just clicked, man. And I knew what I was doing wasn't gonna get me what I wanted. And at this time, I stopped boxing already, but I knew it's so crazy because I lived in a shack when I was going through it.
Like a literal shack.
I was like homeless almost.
Wow. Like people think like, oh, people live in Hawaii, they live in grass shacks. Like that.
My shack was crazier than that.
Oh, wow.
A grass shack would be an upgrade.
Whoa, wow.
But anyway, I was going, at this time, I was going through, battling addiction and stuff like that. But, you ever, an epiphany, right? I just knew I was destined for something. I knew I was destined for something. And then like a month after having that epiphany, I got sober, and everything that I visualized back then is the life I live now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you manifested some things.
I did. I manifested this whole lifestyle now. The businesses, the champions and stuff like that.
Yeah. Wow. And so, because I feel like it's easier said than done, right? Like, because when you're explaining it, it's like, oh, I got out of it in 1 month.
No,
but
nothing
I
like
can't
that.
even imagine like how much struggle it is, because I think a lot of people, we go through our own addictions, whether that's with soda, just sugar, or just like certain things in life. But that's on another level where like,
it was definitely not easy. Of course, when you come up, I'm a very outspoken person, so with just being outspoken, and I was outspoken before I had anything, and with that comes like people talking, and there's definitely like the haters, and you thought that was your friends and stuff like that. So you got to deal with that, when you come up, and you gotta, I was laughed at a lot. Say when I started out this Nito Boxing thing, because I would tell all my friends, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have this, and I got laughed at a lot, and that could have, definitely stopped me from achieving everything that I've accomplished so far. But that only gave me fuel to my fire, and I just kept going. And
It just made that chip even bigger.
it made the chip bigger.
Yeah.
But humble though. Very
Definitely.
humble.
Yeah.
Very, very
And I can tell that. When you say that people were laughing at you, was it because of your history or because of your upbringing?
Of course, it was because of my history. Everybody knew me back then as just, I was this party kid. But I changed my lifestyle like overnight. Like I went from partying and I just cold turkey everything. But I was very outspoken, and I would always, as much as I could, let everybody know that I was gonna be something, and this Nito Boxing thing was gonna take off sometime. And I knew it in my heart. But again, you gotta go through the motions, and definitely was laughed at. Laughed at by people from my hometown and stuff like that. But they believe now.
Yeah, and I think it's because you believed in yourself, and you had that confidence instilled in you from boxing from a young age, right? 100%. So you didn't care like if people said you're gonna lose this fight, you're not gonna make it. No. In your mind, you're thinking, yeah, I am. I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna be the champion.
That's exactly what I thought.
And that's the mindset you have to get to where you're at now.
Because like again with fighting, if you don't believe in yourself, you're gonna lose a fight already. So same thing in life.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, this is incredible. I one day I want to go do some sort of martial arts, some sort of boxing.
Definitely.
I love the discipline aspect of it.
You have to have discipline, like in the combat sport. I that's what I lack when I was fighting.
So, how did you end up being so disciplined now? Is this because you knew you had to change?
I just and again, me, I'm not a guy that like, try to get everybody sober. That's people deserve to live their lives how they want to live. Me, it's just like there's guys like me that take it too far when it comes to partying and stuff. But I just know like what I want out of life, and if by doing those things, it's not gonna get me where I need to be. So that's why I'm disciplined.
Right on.
I'm addicted to like success, and
You just changed that addiction to something else. Yeah, you channel your energy into something else, something more positive.
I'm addicted to, setting goals up and smashing them. I'm addicted to, having my boys become champions and stuff like that. So that's my addiction now.
So that's what motivates you.
100%.
Is helping others. That is
100%.
Yeah, getting them to where maybe you could have been at some point.
I think that's what makes me a good coach. I did everything wrong, and I did everything the wrong way. So now I'll make my boys not do the same mistakes as I did.
Yeah, you can lead by example. Sometimes they say you have to let you have to let life flip you. You have to. I gotta drink some more water. They say you gotta let life flip you upside down so you can learn how to live it right side up. And that seems like what happens. And it makes sense that you can be a good coach and your fighters have success because you've been through it all. You know what's wrong, so you know how to make the adjustments. Yes. You know how to get them to where they need to be. So now that you're a coach and mainly for boxing, right? Do you train MMA fighters as well, or strictly boxing?
I only train boxing, but like I have MMA fighters that come to my gym.
Yeah, but you just train their boxing, their skill set of boxing. Yeah. Okay, and I'm curious to know. There's if you follow fighting, if you follow boxing, you follow MMA. There's always these arguments about like popularity, about pay. What is your opinion about that?
Like boxing definitely get paid more.
But it's not as popular. It seems
but it's not
like
as popular and so
anymore, I guess, because it was the sport.
Yeah, but like the Max Holloways, the McGregors, they make their money. They make their money. But again, but the thing about boxing, it takes you a longer time to get those big checks. Like it takes a longer time for you to get. So I know some guys that, in the sport 10, 15 years, but don't get the check like the Max them guy, like they get it early, like 4 or 5 years into the game, they're making good money. Boxing will make more over time though. Like you have to go through the grind and you have to take small pays, win those fights, fights that not on TV, and then you'll get the big money. But in time you'll make the real big money, but it's faster to make the money in the UFC,
Okay.
MMA.
Okay. So you have
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So you have a straighter route to the top to pay for UFC, but boxing is like this long-term thing that you kind of accrues over time. And so how do you not get discouraged by that one, especially when you're struggling? You know, you're just an up-and-coming boxer, and you need to pay your coaches. You have the camps you have to train for. You have equipment. How do people fund themselves?
It's tough. It's tough, but a lot of us fighters, like boxers and stuff, like people don't know, like, this is all we know. You know, we don't know nothing else. So, you know, people ask why stay in it? You know, you're not making money yet, but it's just something that you just don't know. Like me, I didn't know nothing else but fighting, and like fighting was gonna make it. You know, and if I didn't have a plan B, you know, so a lot of times fighters will just keep going and going because we don't know nothing else. We don't know nothing else. We just, this is all we know, and we don't know that regular life. We just know how to fight. That's all. Yeah. That's the only thing we bring into this world.
I think that's a good life lesson for everybody to hear too, because you stick with what you're passionate about. Yeah. And a lot of people, they're trying all these other things because people tell them, oh, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to get a good job. Yeah. But simply just by sticking to what you know and doing it very well, doing it for a long time, and it can get you to where you want to be, and you can find success in that.
And boxing is a poor man's sport, a lot of the champions and stuff, like they come from poverty. So like we don't know nothing else. Like I said, like I was saying, we never know. Like I didn't know. I didn't have no. I dropped out of school. Boxing was gonna be it.
Yeah, I see the no boxing, no life on your tattoo, on your forearm.
That's that Canelo.
Yeah, but it makes sense because like that's why you have that dog inside of you, right? It's like. That's why I say you're a fighter in more senses than one.
The same dog I got in the ring is like I'll bring that to the business meeting. You know what I mean? I won't take no for an answer, and I'll always accomplish what I need to accomplish.
Yeah, that's so cool. So, what do you think about Jake Paul fighting boxing? I had to ask.
I mean, I'm a boxer. I'm a born and bred boxer. So what I think of him, I think he's a clown.
Do you actually think he's good?
He decent. He has to fight a boxer though.
Yeah, he's really smart in choosing his opponents, right? Yeah,
but he's okay. Like he's okay. Like he definitely knows how to throw a punch.
Yeah, and so when you're seeing him as a coach, as a boxer, he has really good technique. He's doing the right things.
Yeah, he knows how to fight. He knows how to fight. It's just hard for any boxer to respect him. It's hard. Like regardless if he does beat a boxer, it's just like there's guys that work all their life, to be on TV and stuff. So it's hard to respect. It's just, I'm just being honest. It's just hard to respect. Please. Yeah, it's just hard to respect, regardless of what he's accomplished or what is he doing. It's just like as a boxer, I can't give him his praise yet. I just can't.
Yeah. So, do you think if he fought an actual boxer, like he had a fight with, I forget who, it was a big boxer, before Woodley.
He was supposed to fight Tommy Fury.
Yeah, Fury. Yeah. So, if he would have fought him and beat him, do you think
there'd be a little bit more respect? Okay. For sure. We just want him to fight a boxer. That's all.
Yeah. That's all. And then hopefully you probably want to see him get knocked out, right? So he can end this madness, right?
Again, it's just hard. It's It's just because of like the person that he is.
Yeah, and it's like, man, this guy. Or we've been training our whole lives for this. We're just grinding every single day.
I think that's
this
where
guy just comes in.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's where a lot of the animosity comes in. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good businessman, though. I must say.
Yeah. 100%. Whatever he's doing is working for himself.
Yeah, definitely. And it's super interesting.
Yeah.
And all these, what do you think about all these celebrity boxing matches? You see some basketball players, Deron Williams, and who was it, Frank Gore, football player. They fought each other.
I actually like that fight.
You like those?
They look good though. Like they look like they could really fight.
Yeah, I missed that event, but I saw the highlights, and they looked pretty legit. Fight.
Right? I think either them two could give Jake Paul a run for real.
What do you think makes a good boxer? Because we have these natural athletes, like Jake Paul's an athlete. You can see he's an athlete, right? And then we have these former professional athletes, whether that's football, basketball, I don't know if we ever seen a soccer player. Maybe they'll throw some head kicks if they're doing Muay Thai, but not boxing. So what do you think makes a good boxer? Is it more like a God-given talent, or is there all these like technical skills that you
Just work
have
ethic.
to work ethic?
Work ethic.
So if you're a hard worker, you can be good.
Hard work beats talent all day.
They say what is that quote? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't want to work hard.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know, I've seen some very talented fighters, you know, get their ass beat. By guys that just work hard, you know.
I feel though that you have to have some things that are natural, like taking a punch. Right? I feel like not everybody can take a punch.
Nah. It's a plus if you can.
Yeah, good chin.
It's a plus.
Yeah. So is Max's chin so good because he's from Waianae?
100%.
Okay, and then that's why BJ Penn's chin is so good because he's from Hilo, right? Hilo boys, we built different. Except if you punch me, I'd probably knock out. So let's not test it out.
Max is he's a special human, man. Like that guy got condition. He got chin. I got nothing but love for Max. Max is my boy.
Yeah, one day I'll have him on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be the Joe Rogan of Hawaii. So just like you're manifesting everything, you're speaking into existence. That's what I'm gonna do.
I know you'll make it happen.
Yeah, mahalo. Yeah, and then you're part of the journey. So I appreciate it. What would you say is one thing or a few things that boxing has taught you as a person?
You know, to be confident, and you know, to have heart, and just just make me walk with my chest out. Definitely made me very, very, very confident. I mean, that's the only thing I could think about.
Yeah. And that translates to every aspect of your life. Yeah,
100%.
Whether that's just business, courting women, maybe. You have to have that confidence. You have to.
Yeah, you know.
People love confidence.
I'm very confident when it comes to women.
Well, I mean, you roll it up in that maroon Lexus. I mean, yeah, it's hard not to be confident when we're walking out of that.
Nah.
So, what do you think about the current state of boxing right now?
It's in a good place right now. It's in a good place. There's a lot of opportunities now. Like I was saying, like when I was coming up, for like in Hawaii, we had to move, to make moves. But now we changing the game. So now we're opening up doors, and like I said, in the next 2 or 3 years, you'll see, we'll hit that level.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have more events here.
100%.
I've never been to a boxing event, an MMA event, so one day I definitely want to see that.
Once the state opens up,
Yeah. One day.
One day, huh?
Yeah, we'll have kids by then. It's like the next rail.
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, it's gonna be done soon. Like 20 years later.
Yeah, I was seeing something too. Like, but they're opening, like they let them have concerts and stuff, but they should let the fights happen. It's like the same concept.
Yeah, we have concerts. We have people at clubs, bars, but we can't have
fights.
Yeah,
I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's weird. So you have your gym in Waipahu?
Yeah.
And you have a boxing ring over there.
I have a boxing ring there.
Yeah. You ever throw fights over there? Or
No.
Are you able to, or you have to have some sort of license?
You can do smokers and stuff like that, like with sparring matches. But I used to do that a lot. But now that a lot of our fights now is really important, so we kind of just focus on camp and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I don't do with the extra stuff anymore.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about your business, Nito Boxing, a little bit. You started this in 2019, maybe.
I'd say
earlier than that.
Like 2017.
2017. Okay, and then when did it really grow? When was the point where it kind of took off?
Shoot.
Or that at least you feel, in your opinion.
Oh no, yeah. I'm just thinking the right words to say, but man, we struggled for a long time. Like when I first started, man, we could barely make rent and stuff like that, And I put all my chips into this.
All in.
I went all in, and like, I just knew I knew it was gonna take off. I didn't know when, but we struggled a lot. We overdraft the bank account. You know, I look at my partner, and he's just like scratching his head. We don't know if we're gonna make it. And then we were late on rent every month for like 3 years. And then one day, it just boom, took off, and my life just changed. Like, it's crazy.
Why do you think that was? What happened? Did you get the right people in your camp, or?
I just stuck to my morals. You know, I stuck to my beliefs, and whether it was gonna take off or not, I didn't care as long as I stuck to my beliefs and stuff. I wasn't gonna sell my soul or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, it's so crazy because he literally went from not being able to pay the rent, and then boom, you know, we're opening up a third location.
Wow, congrats. So you have one in Waipahu, you have one in Kahala.
And we're opening up one in Kakako. Yeah.
That's some big places.
Yeah.
Kahala, Kakako.
Yeah.
Thinking of a local boy from Waianae doing that, I'm so proud of you. That's amazing.
And I never graduated high school.
I never graduated high school. So the lesson of this all, everybody drop out of high school right now, start training boxing, become the next big boxer, or if you want to get into MMA, you can follow Max Holloway's footsteps. Did Max graduate?
Yeah, Max did.
Okay, so just pretend like I didn't say that. Drop out of high school, everybody, and let's start training.
Nah. Stay in school.
Yeah, stay in school. Education is important.
100%.
Yeah, but I always say this at every episode or whomever I'm talking to. I said to them, like, life just teaches you so much more than school can ever teach you, and traveling and all these things. Have you got to travel besides going to?
Oh no, yeah, I travel. Well, not out of the country, but I travel at least like 15 times a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm rarely home.
Where are some of your favorite places to go?
I love. I don't like East Coast too much.
It's
I don't like
it's
it.
cold.
Yeah, but I like. One place that I like, and I like to go there a lot, is Orange County.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my family lives in Orange.
Yeah,
it's a good
I love
place.
Orange County.
Disneyland? Are you a Disneyland person?
I haven't gone in a while. But
Okay.
I just like being there.
Yeah.
Just like being
You have
there.
friends over there?
Yeah, I have a lot of friends there.
Okay, cool.
And me and my boys, every time we're in camp, we finish our camp out in Orange County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
OC.
We do our last 2 weeks of camp there. Every time.
Yeah. Well, I know you told me before we started that you'd eat Simon every single day.
Yeah.
Is that the trick to being a good fighter, a good coach, a good everything?
I love Simon. Gotta be the shrimp one too. I know there's
Is it
something
called like cup of noodle?
No, just the packet, the pink packet.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. The shrimp flavor
I
one.
love Simon. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just something that you grew up on. We was poor too growing up, so that's all we
It's
had.
a poor man's sport, so that's why you eat the Simon. That's what I was thinking of.
Some things is hard to kick, you know.
Yeah,
Some
no.
habits.
I was in Madagascar for 3 years in the
Oh,
Peace
wow.
Corps, so we were living in harsh conditions, and we didn't get paid. We had like a monthly stipend of $160 a month.
Wow.
But over there, you can get by.
Yeah.
So I think it was not so much that we were broke, but we were lazy. So a lot of people would always cook Simon. They call it ramen. If I said Simon, they're like, "What are you talking about?"
How was that?
Oh, it's crazy. It's the best experience of my life.
How's the conditions there?
So Madagascar is one of the poorest countries in the world. They live off less than $1 a day.
Wow.
So it's also huge. It's the 4th largest island in the world, and there's 30 million people living there. And I know most
For
people.
3 years you were there.
I was 3 years, yeah. So Peace Corps is 2 years, but I extended for 1 year because I loved it so much. So I ended up going there, and I actually didn't even want to go to Madagascar in the first place. I studied Spanish, so I wanted to go to Peru or Costa Rica. And when I applied, you have 3 choices.
Yeah.
Before they would just send you anywhere, but now we have a choice. And I did my first 2 choices, and I just needed to fill it out because I was so set on going to South America. I was on the M section, and I saw Madagascar, and I was like, oh, cool, like the movie. Not even thinking it was a real option.
Yeah.
So I ended up putting that as one of my options. I got an interview for it. And then I was thinking, do I even want to go to Madagascar? I know nothing about it.
How was the culture shock?
Oh, so what's crazy, and I tell people this, is that it's similar to Hawaii. Even with the language, Malagasy and Hawaiian, it's in the same Austronesian family. So these places, they're on the opposite side of the world, but they're in the same language family. So Hawaiian's my first language. I went to Hawaiian immersion school. So I was able to pick it up super quick. So for example, in Hawaiian, we say vaha for mouth. In Malagasy, it's vava.
Wow.
In Hawaiian, the sky is lani. And in Malagasy, it's lanicha.
Wow.
And in Samoan, it's langi.
Yeah.
And yeah, numbers
Wow.
pitu, valu, ehiko, valu, all these similarities.
Wow.
Yeah, they eat taro, they have breadfruit, they eat a lot of rice, just like
Wow.
us.
That's good
So,
for you, dog. That's
yeah.
really good for you.
No, best experience of my life. I encourage anybody to do it. But that taught me so much, because just like I didn't have that upbringing that you had. I had a great childhood in Gila, and I'm super grateful for that. But being able to leave all of this that we have, all these blessings that we have with electricity, running water. I had a well, right? I had to get water from a well. I had to poop in a hole for 2 years.
Wow.
You know,
No electric, nothing.
So most volunteers don't have electricity. I was an English teacher, so we had electricity. I had this one light bulb. So that's what I had. And then if it rained, the electricity would go off.
No phone, nothing.
So we have phone, but so what I do a lot was I'm super into sports. So
Yeah.
I would go right in this one corner of my house, and I would get like one bar, and I'd go to Facebook, and I'd try to find live streams of football games or UFC events, and I'd just try to watch it. But
Wow.
yeah, it's more connected than people think, because just how we've come with technology. But it was definitely a crazy time, and I had like appendicitis when I was there. I had surgery.
Out there?
Yeah, over there. I had.
Was that scary? That must have been scary.
It was scary, but I never really. I wasn't scared. I don't know what it is. I think I've always like believed that things will be good in the end.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty big optimist.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
and then just like I've been in situations where like I didn't know how I was gonna get out. I was like, we got stuck in a cyclone one time driving to my site, and I live 4 hours from the capital, and really bad roads. It's super muddy. So when we were going back from a cyclone to my friend's site, we got stuck, and we couldn't go because we were stuck in the mud and it was raining. So we ended up having to sleep there, and we had to. So in the morning, we just decided to walk to the site, and that was 8 hours. So we walked 8 hours with
8 hours.
our hiking packs in the like super muddy. Like he kept falling. I have better balance, so sorry, Jesus, you gotta work on your balance. So and we just kept going, and like we didn't know how far it was gonna be. We didn't know how long it would take, but we just went. You know, we just kind of went with the intention like we'll make it eventually. Like we're tired. I ate my candy that I brought back from the capital to give to my community. I ended up eating that because we were just hungry. And then you meet the right people. You kind of just keep going one foot in front of the other. And then we eventually made it to the site, relax. I had to bike back to my site, go through some rice fields for like 3 hours. And then I made it home. But those moments, you're thinking like, it's so bad, you know, whether you're going to like these drug problems or I know these are different spectrums for sure, but like these moments where you're just like, man, this sucks. How am I going to get out of it? Yeah. And then you realize you just don't give up. You tell yourself you can do it. And then you realize that we don't have these limits, right? Like we can push through our boundaries. We can do so much more than we think we can. Yeah. And that's why I believe in like the power of the mind, right? And I know as a boxing coach, you probably talk about that. Everybody thinks it's physical, but there's so much mental.
The mental is the most important thing.
Yeah.
100%. The mental is the most important thing. And in life, you know, you got a strong mind, you accomplish a lot of things.
Yeah. So that's why when you get to those later rounds, right, and you want to give up, you're tired, the only thing that's your body is shutting down.
It's so crazy because once you, like, I think me as a coach, I would never put any doubt in my fighter's head, right? Because once you do, it'll creep up. Yeah. Because, like, if I ask them, oh, you tired? You never want to do that because once they think about it, they'll be like, maybe I am tired. And when your mind tells you you're tired, and you become tired. So you never want to put any doubt in your head. It's a crazy thing. Like I said, like mental is the most important thing. So you never want to go into a fight with, even if everything is bad, you tell yourself, ain't nothing wrong. You won't feel it.
So I see coaches, they're pretty harsh, I feel like. And is that why? Because you don't want to be like, hey, you're losing this round, you just got your butt whooped. Or are those times where you kind of have to be honest?
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to.
Because they got to pick it up, right?
Yeah.
Or you're going to lose the fight.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to. You got to pick and choose when to do it. But that's where experience comes in.
Yeah.
You know, to be in their position before, to feel how they're feeling, to have felt how they're feeling. So I think that's what makes me a really good coach.
Yeah, and you have credibility, right? Because they're like, coach, You don't know what it's like to be in here. Like, you don't know how tired I am.
It's hard to respect. Well, it's hard to take advice from somebody that's never been in your shoes before. You know, and, you know, that's no disrespect to anybody. That's just in general, you know, like.
I believe that.
You know, it's hard to take advice from somebody that's never felt how you felt. You know, never been where you're at, and you know, so that's where the respect comes in with me and my boys. You know, because they know I'm coming from a good place, and you know, I've been in their shoes and stuff like that.
So are there boxing coaches that have never boxed, but they know how to teach?
There is, you know, there's a lot of people that train boxing, like coach boxing, that never fought before. They do good. I mean, but there's gonna come a time and place where, you know, where given direction, you know, it's not gonna help. You know, to have the experience to feel how they're feeling, to pull them out of that situation, and that's where experience comes in. So,
yeah. Right on. I gotta stop by one day. I definitely want to learn how to throw a good punch.
Oh yeah.
And just I love the fitness
there's definitely coaches that never fought before that know how to, you know how to teach you to throw a punch. But in a general aspect of the sport, as far as fighting, you know, there'll be times where it's not that type of direction you got to give. It's about pulling them out of the situation and the right words to say, you know, to pull them out of the situation.
How do you find the right words to say in those moments?
To have been there before. You know what I mean?
You just put yourself in their shoes, like, I know what it's like, and this is how I got out of it.
You got to swear a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, get them going. That's when they know it's real.
You gotta swear a lot. Yeah. It's just in the moment. Everything's moving fast, and you know, just to analyze the round before, and you know, say the correct things.
I feel like when they have success, you probably get so happy because that is also yours and your other coaches, your crew's success. So it's all this is a collective success.
It's a team effort.
Sure. And because we think of boxing as an individual sport, right? But there's a team behind it.
It's just, you know, leading up to the fight. You know, there's a lot of sacrifice that people don't see. Like when we're getting ready for fights, like we rarely see our family. You know, graduations, you know, birthday parties, we don't make it to it, you know. A lot of meals my boys miss. You know,
that Hawaiian food at the grad party.
Yeah. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it that a lot of people don't see. So that's what makes the wins a lot more satisfying.
You must feel like a proud parent, right? When you're, especially these young guys coming up, right?
I think I'm their biggest fan. I'm their biggest fan. You know, I'm their biggest fan. But we work really, really hard.
Yeah.
Really hard.
I mean, you that's signing with Golden Boy Promotions. That's elite, man. That's a huge accomplishment.
It was a dream come true for
How did that happen?
The boys, man, like so we go to, in order to get seen or noticed by these big companies, you have to go out there and you got to win the big tournaments. So like my boys are like, my boy Asa, he was #1 in the world.
Wow, in his weight division,
in his
age,
in his weight and his age.
Okay.
And then my boy Dallas, he was like the best in the country too.
Wow.
So a lot of my boys, so like 4 of my boys right now, so like my boy KJ, he's ranked #3 in the country. My boy Noah is ranked #2 in the country.
Wow.
But you need to, you know, fight those big tournaments and win those big tournaments in order to be even, you know, considered by a Golden Boy or a top rank or something like that. So all the credits like to my boys, you know, they went out and accomplished their dreams.
Yeah. I think they say there's no such thing as a bad student, only a bad teacher.
Yeah.
So, which means you're a good teacher. I think if I'm breaking that down correctly, it means you're a good teacher.
I hope I am.
Oh man, that's so cool. What's the next steps for them? Are there
just
real quick actually? How do these tournaments work? Is it like a nonstop, like you fight like a Mortal Kombat where you're just fighting the next one, or there's different days? It's throughout like a week or a month, or
it's for 1 week and you fight every day, and you lose one time, you get eliminated.
So you could be bust up and like super tired.
Yeah, my boys fight like 6 times in 1 week. Yeah,
and that's crazy. Some people fight once every 4 months, right?
Yeah, but I always tell them too, like we don't like to, you know, so we call it the sightseers. If you lose the first day, like now you're stuck on a trip. Now you gotta go. Now you go sightsee.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I said I'm not here to sightsee. We gotta take it all to the end.
Yeah.
And they always do. They always do.
That's awesome. How old are they?
So I think my oldest is 22, youngest is 16. So they're like 18, 19.
Yeah. Wow, bright future.
Oh yeah.
Are there boxing events happening here, or do they ever happen here?
They used to, but again, until the state shut down, like amateur. But we've been in talks with Golden Boy, so like my two boys, they'll be fighting. And this year, they'll be fighting like 5 times this year. So, the goal is to bring, the boxing event here.
Okay, yeah, that'd be super cool. How was it meeting Oscar De La Hoya? And
it was cool. I actually met him before when I used to fight.
Oh yeah,
I fought on the Golden Boy.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was cool.
So that's how you got to connect.
No. Everything my boy the signing with Golden Boy, my two boys, that's all on them because they went out and accomplished everything they're supposed to accomplish to be signed by a big promotion. So I don't want to take no credit for that.
Well, you gave them direction.
They listen.
Hey, Nito, you don't gotta brag. I'll brag for you. Okay, no worries. That's super awesome. I'm stoked for their journey and your journey, and you're only getting started.
Yeah,
that's the coolest part of it, and. Yeah, you're connecting with a lot of people. It's so cool to see like these surfers and like these people who aren't necessarily boxers get into the sport.
I train a lot of the surfers.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's good cardio, good fitness. Because I'm also I watch fights, I watch boxing and UFC, and I'm just like, okay, if I just did this, I'm punching my hands in the air for those who can't see. I'm just punching it straight. Do this for 5 minutes straight, or I don't know however long rounds is, but also dodging punches, also getting hit. Also, like trying to knock somebody. That is so tiring.
All my surfer clients, they got hands. Killia Moniz, Seth Moniz, Josh Moniz.
I gotta get the whole Moniz family on here.
Michael Moniz, Billy Kemper, Zeke Lau, and they all got
ultimate
hands.
surfer right there.
Yeah, they all got hands. Well,
I'm definitely gonna have one or all of them on one time. So I'm gonna have them brag about you as well. So real quick, let's get into Instagram questions.
Right.
And then we'll go to the local business shout-outs. So I have 2 right here. One's from PLISK Mom. Please, Mom. She wants to know, what's your favorite thing about coaching?
Just being able to help someone accomplish their dreams, and that's real satisfying, seeing it through.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever look at them and see yourself?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, I think I always try to make sure nobody make the same mistakes I did.
Do you keep them in check?
Yeah.
Nice. You're like a father figure, older brother figure, everything, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm
awesome.
everything.
Yeah.
Their dad.
Uncle.
Their uncle.
Different points, right?
Yeah, their dad, their uncle, their friend.
Yeah. So in that sense, is it so it's because you're the dad, like, put that beer down, but you're the uncle, you're like, pick that beer up. Does that get confusing?
No, I think, in life you got to have balance, right? You got to have balance. And again, I'm not an advocate for sobriety, but, just guys like me that always took it overboard. So I let my boys make sure they have, they have their fun, but no one to turn it off.
Yeah, everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn it off. And when it's time to work, it's time to work. And they do. Mm-hmm. They listen.
Right on. How many years sober are you?
Almost, I can't even remember. Almost 10.
Wow, congrats.
Almost 10, yeah. Almost,
congrats. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot even. I stopped counting.
Yeah, because it's just it's like a habit, right? When you're doing something, it just becomes like you get used to it. It's a lifestyle. Yeah. I intermittent fast every day, and it's like you just get used to it, right? You're just like, oh, well, I guess I don't need this, or like you cut out sugar. You're like, oh, wow, you realize, you don't really need sugar, right? Yeah. But in the beginning, it's really hard.
Yeah.
We have these withdrawals and whatnot, but super cool. This one's a kind of long one, and I'm really excited this person asked me. It's a young boy, Prios Fowler, I think, Preos. He wants to know, I'm just going to read the whole thing. He DM'd me because it was really long. I have a question for Nito for podcast. I go to the Kahala boxing studio, and I'm 13, but I want to improve my skills, so I'm wondering if I can go to the Waipahu gym. The Kahala gym, in my opinion, is more of a fitness through boxing class. I want to get more. I want to get practice, so eventually, with hard work, I can make a career out of fighting in Waipahu Gym. The right place for me to go, and I am allowed to go there.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's definitely allowed to go there. And yes, Kahala is definitely more of the fitness side, but and Waipahu is more of like the competitive side. So yes, he can come to Waipahu and get that that extra work he needs.
Yeah. Do you have to have certain qualifications?
No, nothing. I think a lot of people don't realize how hard it is, though. To just be willing to put in the hard work. Because there'll be a lot of the thing about the sport. Trying to make it a living. There'll be more downs than ups because this is just how it is.
Yeah, it's not everybody's cut off for it.
Yeah.
And can you tell that in the beginning?
Yeah, but sometimes you'd be surprised though. Sometimes, but 90% of the time you kind of know, like, if they're cut out for it and whatnot. I'm not saying that the boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he could definitely come down there and try to just understand what are you getting yourself into, and there's going to be a lot of hard work, and if you're willing to do that, by all means, come down.
I don't know if you heard that, Prios. Go check out Waipahu Gym. Yeah, get your boxing career started. That's awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for answering that.
Yeah.
So every episode we do a local business shout out, and then every time the episode comes out, we pair it with a giveaway. So this local business I'm shouting out is Nito Boxing, your own business, now up to 3 locations, and you're giving away a 1-month free membership, gloves, and wraps.
Yeah.
That's a solid deal. I'm gonna create a bunch of fake accounts and enter the giveaway and then rig it and then make myself win. And then you're gonna see me like, wait, come on, what are you doing?
Nah, I'll take care of you, bro.
I appreciate that. How much is when you join, what is the regular price if people are interested?
There's different packages and
Okay.
stuff. So if you click on the website, it'll show.
Okay, and what's the website?
It's in my link in my bio or
Okay.
the link in Nito Boxing Kahala.
Okay, sounds good. Nice. I feel like that's just such a good workout.
Yeah,
And I feel like a lot of people just, especially now, they just need to get out and release some stress and just punch a bag once in a while. How do you manage your time between certain clients? Because I'm sure everybody wants to work with you, right? You're like the top dog.
Yeah. I actually have a lot of good workers. They take care of the clients, and right now my focus is on the fighters right now. The fighters.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So say I went to one of the gyms and I want to work with you. That probably won't happen unless I'm like getting into competitive fighting.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then you do like private things.
I used to.
I
I stopped doing private training because it just got too. I get hit up every day.
Yeah, I can imagine that,
I
right?
do it, but like again, right now my focus is on the fighters right now.
Okay, and how much time does that take out of your day?
It's pretty. Takes up the whole day.
Yeah.
Because you got to focus on who they're fighting, and like, I'm actually got to be in contact with their managers and stuff like that. So it takes a lot of work.
Well, sorry, Dallas and Asa, for taking away your coach for the day, for a couple hours right here. You guys enjoy your free time, but he's coming for you. You guys better get back in the gym.
We got to train that floor today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so when you're training, is it every single day?
Every single day. You have to train every day.
You don't have days. What about rest days and like ice baths? And
they'll do Sunday.
Sunday,
Sunday
okay.
they'll rest.
Day of rest.
Yeah. But we're training like 6 times a week, twice a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do they recover so quickly? Is it because they're young and they're able to just like...
One of that, yeah. And we do ice baths and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. What is the benefits of ice baths? Because I always see people doing it. Is it because I know when you take a cold shower, your central nervous system is regulated. All these benefits.
I can just speak off of the experience of me being in the ice bath.
Not the science and all that.
I don't know. I really know science, but it makes me feel really, really good, and kind of rejuvenates the muscles. Because like me, I hold mitts all day.
Oh yeah.
I hold mitts, and the boys can hit. So and when I get in there and I come back out, I feel brand new.
Wow. So that's something that I should ask too. When you're holding these mitts and you're actually taking some, you're protected, but you're still taking some punches, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever leave the gym with just a bunch of bruises everywhere?
I still have like my ribs still kind of bruised from my boy Asa.
Come on, Asa. Give him a break.
Yeah, man. It takes a pounding.
Yeah.
Takes a pounding, yeah.
And then, so I also wondered, so it's combinations when people are throwing, because it seems like it's almost like a dance, right? You're just like, like you're moving in certain ways, and you have the mitts up here, down here, wherever it is. And people, so that's like, it's almost like choreography. Oh, okay.
Well, kind of. There's a lot of like fancy mitt work that go like you'll see on the Instagram and stuff. I'm more of a strategic guy.
Okay.
When I hold mitts, more realistic shots, and not so much as a choreography thing. Yeah, like if we're fighting a certain opponent, I'll try to mimic, put certain shots in there that will land on the opponent. So I'm more of a strategic mitt holder instead of a choreographer.
So yeah, I guess I don't really mean choreography, but
no. But you see that a lot on Instagram. You see a lot of fancy mitt work.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I mean is like, because it seems like they know where they're punching, or you know where to put the mitt. And is there ever like improv? Like you kind of like know they're gonna punch, or you're telling them like, oh, punch here, punch here.
Oh yeah, you're telling them and stuff like that. But
okay.
What I was trying to say is like there's a lot of, I don't know if you ever see them hold. Like it's a lot of fancy mitt work. On Instagram.
I've seen stuff like that on Instagram.
But I'm more of a strategic guy. Boom, boom, put shots in there that should work.
And yeah, people ever miss? Like you said, you're supposed to go up high and they go low. Or
my boy Dallas always hit me. He the only guy. He always hits me.
I feel like if it's always, it's probably intentional, huh?
Yeah,
he ever gets mad at you?
I say that to him too, but he's the only guy that always hit me. He always hit me.
That's funny. Hey, he got to keep you in check sometimes. Yeah. So you got to see if he can take a punch still.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So after you've done all of this, you've been through a lot, and now you're finding success in what you're doing. What are you most proud of?
Being able to give some jobs during the pandemic. I was able to, give people jobs, and at least give them something to look forward to and stuff like that. So that's something I'm definitely proud of.
Yeah, and it's cool that you're a local boy and you have this local business, and maybe people can start going from these these bigger kind of mainland companies, and they can maybe shift to like Nito Boxing instead of maybe I'm not saying don't go to UFC gym and whatever.
Oh, that's the plan.
Yeah, but okay. I'm saying then don't go to UFC gym, go to Nito Boxing, because here at Hawaiiverse we're all about supporting local, and we're in this time where supporting local is such a big thing, right? And we need it. Yeah. I'm not saying we should. We need to support local.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And by you opening up a third gym, that creates even more jobs. Yeah. And it gives more opportunity for people to support local.
Yeah, so like for me, when I was coming up, right, I had to do like a lot of this stuff for free.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of things for free. But now when I'm in the position I am in today, I'm giving, a lot of my coaches, an opportunity to get paid and do what they love. When I was coming up, I didn't have this opportunity. I had to do everything for free. Yeah. So that I'm really proud that I can provide jobs and, give them, they could take it far,
Yeah, that's amazing. And do you ever think back and reflect, and maybe, I don't know, you're driving and you're just thinking, wow, I've come so far? And
I do. Didn't really hit me, but again, we're just getting started, but
yeah, maybe in another 5 years you reflect back, another 10 years.
I don't think it'll ever hit me because I just kind of knew it, stuff was gonna happen, like that epiphany I was talking about, But I'm grateful.
Oh, so you're like what is that? I think it was Conor McGregor when he beat was it Eddie Aldo maybe the first time, or who was it? Chad Mendes. He's like, I'm not surprised, mother.
yeah.
Like that. Is that what you're saying to yourself?
Yeah, pretty much. But no, I'm definitely humble and grateful. But it's just, when you just know you're destined for something, and it just happens. And I'm blessed to be in this position, and we'll be riding this wave as long as we can. Yeah,
it's all about momentum. It's all about riding this wave. That's why you're on here, because I'm seeing you everywhere. I'm like, I need to get this guy before he's too big, and then we can't get him in the future.
I'll never be too big.
What do you think about all the top boxers right now? The Canelos,
Canelo's definitely the man. Right now.
And then we got Fury, we have Wilder, we have all those people. Like, do you follow it pretty religiously?
Yeah.
And is that the kind of the goal that you're trying to get your boys to?
Yeah, I mean the goal is always to be like Canelo, because Canelo's like the face of boxing right now.
Yeah, or was that Ryan Garcia?
Ryan Garcia, my boy, he signed with the same company as
Oh.
my boys that he signed with Golden
Nice.
Boy too.
That guy looks fast.
Yeah, my boy Asa made his pro debut on Ryan Garcia's card.
No way.
Yeah.
I gotta look out for these people now. That's so cool. Yeah, I even like I said earlier, I follow UFC more. It's just, I think it's just because it's more.
It's a local thing.
Yeah,
I mean, MMA is, dominant here in Hawaii.
Yeah. Do you think boxing will get to that level though?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it's taking off now. I mean, we're just opening the doors. So,
Yeah.
in like 2-3 years.
How do you think somebody chooses boxing over mixed martial arts?
It's just definitely just a preference.
If maybe you don't like to kick or elbow, you just
Yeah, it's a preference.
Yeah.
Preference.
So would you ever think about going to MMA? Not right now, but like say you were in your prime. We have all these people talking about crossovers. Conor McGregor going to boxing.
I'd love to learn how to do it. For me to fight it, no, I don't think I can.
Yeah, but do you think it's cool when we have these crossovers?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. But a boxer is smart.
It's different. Totally different.
No. A boxer is smart. He's not gonna go into MMA because once he get taken out, he can get beat up.
That's what I always thought. So it's nice to hear you say that, a professional.
You don't see the
that.
boxers crossing over into
Yeah,
MMA.
it doesn't make sense because they're gonna have to learn wrestling, grappling.
When we get taken down to the ground, it's over.
So that's why it makes sense for the MMA fighters to go to boxing because a lot of them, they already have a foundation in boxing, right?
Yeah.
Like McGregor. And what did you think of the McGregor and Mayweather fight? I thought he looked pretty decent.
Yeah, he looked decent. I thought it was good for just the entertainment value.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he got balls.
Yeah. Going against Mayweather.
Yeah.
He's gonna fight again, I think, right?
McGregor.
Mayweather.
Yeah, some
he has a
YouTube
fight
guy.
coming. But he's kind of retired from professional boxing. Yeah. He doesn't want to ruin that 50 and 0. He's 50 and 0, right?
50 and 0, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What are your boys' records right now?
My boy Dallas is 1-0. My boy Asa is 2-0.
Oh, they're super new.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they sign people that early?
No, so that's a professional record.
Oh, okay.
Amateur
and then there's
record,
an amateur record.
Amateur record, they got they got a ton of fights, 80 fights.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, well, we're getting towards the end of the podcast. I'm learning so much, and I really appreciate you for being here. I just have a couple more things I want to ask you. What would you say to your younger self if you could go back in time and just you saw a young Nito? What would you say to yourself?
Don't do drugs.
But that kind of got you to where you are.
Yeah,
right?
I know. It's just kind of like.
It's kind of, yeah.
But it did take off a lot of years.
Yeah. You think you'd still be where you are now if you didn't have that troubled childhood?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I like everything had to happen.
Yeah.
For me to be where I'm at. I just, I wish I didn't waste so much years doing drugs.
Yeah.
But do I regret it? No. So it's hard. It's kind of hard.
Because I talk to people, and that's like a question people ask you, if you could go back in time, if you, do you have any regrets? And I always
I'll say it. I'll rephrase it. I wish I graduated high school,
Yeah.
I never got to experience, the graduation.
Hey, class of 2020 didn't either. Sorry, too soon.
I went to all the graduations, and I always regretted not being able to, get my diploma. So if I could talk to myself, it would be
finish high school. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. You think you'd ever get your GED, or it doesn't really make sense?
I think I will do it just for me. Yeah, just for me.
For like a personal goal.
Yeah.
What are your personal goals and career goals in the next how many years?
Personal goals is definitely to make my boys world champions. That's my personal goals. Business wise, just opening more gyms and just opening more doors for people.
Okay. And in the next 20 years, we're gonna see Nito Boxing gyms just like we see UFC gyms all over the place.
That's a goal.
Even outside of Hawaii.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're working on one out in the mainland now. So we got a meeting soon for that. So we're just trying to see how that works out.
I feel like Vegas is always a good.
I think Vegas, there's a lot of gyms. So
Yeah, it's a saturated market, right?
A lot of boxing, and I got a lot of. It's a fighting town.
Yeah.
It's a fighting town. It's a boxing town, so I got a lot of respect for the coaches out there.
What about somewhere like Alaska? I feel like nobody's in Alaska trading the code. Is fighting bears. Yeah. That's next level right there.
I definitely want to get one on like each island.
Okay.
One on Maui, one on Big Island.
Yeah,
so
Big Island.
That's definitely the goal.
Yeah. Okay, and this just came to my head because you were talking to Min right before this about BJ Penn running for governor. What do you think about that?
BJ Penn's my boy. I'll back him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. BJ Penn, my boy.
You think? I mean, just honestly, like, do you think he has a chance though? I'm a huge BJ fan, of course.
I think he has the a lot of people support him, because of what he's done and what he's done and everybody can say, look, I was a bad guy, change, and if people can see the change and you'll see, like he got my support, sure.
Yeah,
plus we signed with Ruka.
Yeah. Are you at Ruka?
I'm signed with Ruka.
Oh, that's one of my favorite brands. I love Ruka.
Signed with Ruka.
Yeah, I guess you guys got to support.
Shout out to Pat Tenoy, that guy he takes care of me and all my boys.
Yeah, Ruka. Chito.
Yeah, Chito. Chito, my boy too.
Yeah, he's with Ruka. He's friends with Kiko Casimiro, and Kiko is supposed to be on the podcast soon.
Yeah, Kiko is my boy too.
Oh, okay, cool. Does he train with you?
He used to. He used to.
Yeah,
I don't train anybody this way anymore.
Oh yeah.
Before I used to private train a lot of people, but I just got so busy. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like I private train Kelly and them still.
Yeah, I guess they were kind of grandfathered in, right? Like, it seems like you've been doing it with them for a while. Yeah. And plus, it's the Monize's family. Like, how can
that's
you say
my
no?
people.
How can you say no to
that's
that?
My
right?
people. That's my people.
Do you surf?
They got me to surf one time, and I did decent. I got out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not really into that though.
I mean, I like going. We used to go to the beach, just jump in the water, come back out.
Yeah.
That was the thing in Waianae.
Oh, okay. You guys never go Sandy's beach?
No.
That's an east side thing?
I was never a beach boy. Like beach mom, I used to go to the beach, take a fight or jump in the water or for the girls.
Yeah. That's exactly. Check out the babes, not the waves. I think that's what a lot of people do. Cool. Well, I really enjoyed this conversation, and I appreciate you being so open and honest about your whole life experience. Yeah, and providing the awesome giveaway that's gonna be released as soon as you hear this. Go check out Hawaiiverse. We'll have the giveaway posted. Go check out Nito Boxing. What are your what's your socials?
Nito @Nito_Boxing.
And then you have the
I have the business pages, but my assistant, he runs the academy one, and the other guys run the Kahala one.
Okay,
so
cool.
That's not me.
Okay, right on.
They be getting a lot of people be messaging the page thinking that's me.
That's funny because that's same with me and Hawaiiverse. People would message Hawaiiverse thinking it's me. Yeah. And they'll message me like on my personal one, like, how can you respond to me? Or why you didn't see this? Or they mentioned something that they thought they were talking to me about. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's funny. You have any final things you want to say? Any
just thank you, Hawaii, for making my all my dreams come true, and wouldn't be able to live this life that I live now without everybody's support.
Right on. Well, we're supporting you. We're supporting your fighters, and we're all gonna continue to grow and thrive together in this community. This a bunch of local people trying to make our local community better. So that's what it's all about, and I'm excited for the future of Hawaii and how it's gonna be in 5, 10, 20 years, maybe. Yeah, make it a better place for our keiki. Yeah.
That's a goal.
Cool. And I guess my personal goal is going to have enough money to buy one of those chains. I feel so insecure right now. I feel so naked on my neck. The only thing I have on my chest is probably like 4 chest hairs and like a couple pimples. Well, okay. Mahalo, Nito, for joining us on the Hawaiiverse podcast. Check us out on Hawaiiverse.com, the best place to support locals. Spread aloha, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. New episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka, and you'll hear me next time on the Hawaiiverse podcast. Ahui ho.